Well, welcome back to Soda City Live. Before the Christmas holiday, we spoke with Synergy Homecare Gerontologist Dr. Macie Smith about assessing aging loved ones while visiting. Now, once you've assessed them, now what do you do with that information? Well, joining us today is Dr. Macie with those answers. So great to have you back.
It is good to be back always, Sierra.
Listen, and you're so bright and you're luminous and you look amazing.
Thank you. You look good, you feel good, you do good.
Absolutely. So tell us about, let's revisit those points that we did in our assessment and what we should do now with that information.
So we spent a lot of time with our older adult loved ones over the holidays. It was great, but there may have been areas that may have been noticed by family caregivers. ADLs, activities of daily living. Maybe they did not keep up with their bathing, their dressing, hygiene, and grooming. Maybe their memory is slipping, not able to remember recent events or put things in chronological order. Mobility, they may be holding on to furniture to steady themselves. Also, social engagement. Maybe they're isolating themselves more, not allowing people to come over, not spending time with loved ones, not getting out and doing things in the community. And what that lends itself to, it may be signs of depression. We don't typically think about that when we think about our older adults. It's either dementia or it's not, but it may be a sign of depression.
Because the symptoms of depression is a little bit different in older people.
It is, and I'll tell you, depression is at a higher rate in our older adult population. Also is suicide rates, and we think about SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, not as much sunlight these days, and so they're not getting the serotonin that they need in order to feel good. That's the feel-good chemical. And so when we think about the signs and symptoms of depression, they do mimic dementia, but not always, and they need to have a depression assessment to determine, if they need treatment for that.
Now, we talked about this before, talking about the conversations, because you have to have the conversation with the person, but then you need to reach out to somebody. So how do you go about doing something about what you've noticed? Like, do you contact their doctor because, a lot of that stuff is confidential? How do you go about it?
So that's an excellent question. As a family caregiver, they may not be listed on the HIPAA form, so the doctor may not share information with them. And I just want to say, if you have a concern about your loved one, that is a valid concern. If they're sad, if they're not eating, loss of interest in activities, trouble tracking conversation, losing weight, lack of personal hygiene, that is a real concern. The very first thing you want to do is talk to other family members and loved ones to see what they saw. But I'm going to warn you, there's some family members that will be in denial and say, oh, nothing is wrong with mom, nothing is wrong with dad. But if you think it's a concern, talk with other family members or friends to see what they've seen. Then you want to, with that senior, partner with them to make an appointment for something routine like a checkup. Right? And they may allow you in the doctor's office with them to have another set of ears. And then you want to contact Synergy Home Care to make an assessment to determine if there is a need for professional caregiving services. It may not need to be hands-on care like with bathing or dressing, but Synergy provides hands-off care. So IADLs with supervision, companionship. Sometimes, Sierra, they just need someone to come over.
Right.
In fact, when people are receiving in-home care, sometimes that caregiver that comes in is the only person they see all day, and so it is a form of social engagement.
Well, let me ask you this about the Synergy Home Caregivers. Are these volunteers or are these like professionals that work within the company?
They are professionally trained caregivers. They
Okay.
get an extensive amount of training in personal care practices and dementia care practices, and they specialize in individualized care as well. So we do have higher levels of care. We call it concierge care, to whereas they may need a higher level of hands-on support. But all of the caregivers are trained, they're quality caregivers, and they are paid.
Let me ask you this. So when you try to sign up for the Synergy Home Care, do you use your insurance, or say you need a nurse, you need an in-home nurse? So this will be completely separate,
right?
Or so there's no way to kind of intertwine the two.
So, and this is non-medical care.
Okay.
And so Synergy provides non-medical care, and all you have to do is call or go to synergyhomecare.com and you can say something as simple as, I need help with mama, or daddy is driving me crazy. They can take it from there.
Hey, that's the type you need. If I can't articulate it, I need you to take it from here.
Exactly. We are very skilled
Awesome.
in doing that.
And Dr. Macie, we can get all these resources at synergyhomecare.com, but if someone wants to reach you directly, how can they do so?
They can call me at 803-814-6721, or online at synergyhomecare.com.
Well, perfect. Dr. Macie, thank you so much again for sharing all this amazing information with us so that we can help the generation that might need a little bit more help than we can
Absolutely.
provide. So again, thank you.